Good crowd, Minister.
They came to see you.
Oh, sure.
Is Ron here today?
Yes, yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Jamie Schlegel from Schlegel Villages, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this celebration. And this is much more than a celebration about building some new buildings on a site in a city. This is very much a celebration of a vision to transform a strategic site in the city of Hamilton to serve several different constituencies in the city who are in need of support and service. And we're so pleased to be here today celebrating that vision. The site rendering behind me, if you can see that, has several different components to it. And I just want to highlight those very quickly. On the center, kind of right, is the Schlegel Village component of the site. And that includes 2 long-term care homes, and those will be kind of the first phase of the seniors housing Schlegel Village project. We are working exceedingly hard with our friends in the city of Hamilton to accelerate approvals to get construction started in the spring of next year so that we can have those LTC beds available serving the seniors of Hamilton in 2028. So we're working hard to really accelerate that time frame to build those beds and open them in 2028. There will be future phases of the Schlegel Village, including retirement home, assisted living, memory care, and seniors apartments that will be built in the future to serve those seniors who need not the heavy care found in long-term care, but other levels of care that we provide in those components of the village. The village will have its signature main street and town square that is designed to encourage socialization and social connection and build true community within the village. The village will be the new home for 64 residents who currently reside at Hamilton Continuing Care in downtown Hamilton. We have some of our amazing residents here this morning. And we're so pleased to be building these new facilities for those folks as well as many other Hamiltonian seniors. I also want to recognize our amazing, talented, passionate, and awesome team members here from HCC and Wentworth Heights, their sister village in Hamilton as well. They're the backbone of our organization and the backbone of the health system. You guys are all awesome. So that is the Schlegel Village component. It will also include hub services like the living classroom that we're partnering again with our wonderful partners at Mohawk College. It will have Seniors Day programs for seniors from the community to come and receive service, as well as potential childcare services as well. So finding ways to provide services that support seniors living in the community so they can live longer in their own homes and be there more successfully and healthier. So we're very excited about the Schlegel Village component of this site for sure. Moving to the north of the site, and just behind me is the Century Manor, which has been a building of significant interest to the local community, as former Councillor J.P. Danko reminds me from time to time. And that is such, to me, a good news part of this story is the intended repurposing of Century Manor into affordable housing. And we are just so pleased to be partnering with an outstanding organization like Indwell for them to take the lead and bring their expertise, their passion, their values and faith-based approach to converting that historical building into a much needed service for those who need affordable housing in Hamilton. If that wasn't good enough, we are collectively also creating 2 new affordable housing projects as part of this endeavor. Once the residents and team members from Hamilton Continuing Care move to their new home here, we will be donating the Hamilton Continuing Care site from Schlegel Villages to Indwell. And Indwell will be converting that site into supportive housing for the downtown area of Hamilton. Absolutely, that's worthy of applause. And thirdly, not to be outdone, of course, our partners at Mohawk are donating a site on Bristol Street in downtown as well that Indwell is going to convert into either affordable or supportive housing as well. So one project is spawning 3 affordable and supportive housing projects, which I think is just an amazing part of this story for sure. Schlegel Villages will also be donating $2 million to Indwell, so that will provide the equity for Indwell to undertake the Century Manor repurposing, and with government funding joining in, we'll be able to bring that affordable housing project to life. So super, super proud of that as well. Moving further north on the site will be the location of roughly 800 general market owned and purpose-built rental units. We know there is a housing challenge across the GTAH, and we are very pleased to be meeting and helping to address that need with purpose-built rental and ownership units. We also hope, given its location, to provide units that our team members can live in as well, so that folks who work in the village can live close by and walk to work, not have to spend so much time commuting, and have more time with their families and increase their quality of life as well. And lastly, as we rotate around the site counterclockwise, is the 7-acre Mohawk College campus expansion, which will meet the evolving needs in the future of the college. We have such an amazing partnership already with Mohawk College, with our living classroom that started in 2018 at Wentworth Heights, just up the road, and now at Tansley Woods in Burlington. We're looking forward to partnering in many different ways, given the close proximity we'll have with the Mohawk College team as well. So very, very excited about that as well. So lots of different components that are meeting a multitude of needs, all of which to me are very, very exciting. Before I finish, because I'm over time, which is a bit of a Schlegel trait, but we get excited about these things, so we'd like to talk about them. I want to give some shout outs of thanks, obviously, to our core partners, Indwell and Mohawk. We are just so pleased to be working with you on this transformation of this site. I also want to give a special shout out to Infrastructure Ontario, and Minister Surma is here, of course. We want to really give a shout out to Heather Gray-Wolf and her team. This has been a very complicated site to work through and work through the contracting with, and the IO team has understood the vision for the site and has been supportive all the way through, notwithstanding the lots of wrinkles to be worked out. So shout out to Heather and her team at Infrastructure Ontario. Also want to give a shout out to the folks who are right next door to us, St. Joe's Health System. Part of the vision for a long-term care home is to work with our colleagues at St. Joe's. Mike Heenan, the new CEO of the health system, is here. Work with St. Joe's, leverage their expertise that they have in mental health and addictions right next door to provide service and support to hard to serve and hard to support seniors who are maybe living with chronic mental health conditions, addictions, and so on, to be able to provide specialized long-term care services for those folks as well, in partnership with St. Joe's. Want to give a shout out to our consultant team led by Richard Hammond over here, our architect, Glenn Wellings, our planner, Rod Alderson, civil engineer. These folks have been doing Olympic work. Is that a word? Olympian work. Summer Macintosh work, maybe is a better way to put it. They've been working, in some cases, night and day to bring this project to where it is and to start construction in the spring of 2026. So kudos to all of your good work, team. Also want to obviously thank Mayor Horvath and the city team. Mayor Horvath, we've met with you several times, and we've been so very appreciative of the support you've given this project, and that's trickled through your team as well, with the city staff. Stephen Robichaud, who's now the general manager of the city, has just been super supportive all the way through. It's a complicated project with lots of different moving parts in terms of approvals, that the city staff have been there every step of the way. So really appreciative of that, for sure. And lastly, of course, want to thank the provincial government, who has made historic investments in rebuilding older long-term care homes into new long-term care homes to meet the needs of today's seniors, and to expand the capacity of long-term care across the province. Even more importantly, in my view, is the investments that have been made to increase the hours of care, increasing our capability and our capacity to deliver care to seniors who are frail and need that support. The person who's leading that charge for the government is Minister Natalia Kusendova-Bashta. And Minister Kusendova-Bashta is, if you know her, has a huge heart. She's a caregiver by training, by profession. She brings heart and passion to this work. I would suggest that her portfolio is long-term care, but more importantly, her passion is long-term care. So with that, I'd like to invite Minister Kusendova-Bashta to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And James, we see each other quite often, so I think that's good news. Every time we see each other, there's great news for the local community as well. I'd like to begin by acknowledging our amazing seniors, our amazing residents. And I say this often, but I will say this again. You are the reason why we wake up every day and go to work. My entire team, the entire ministry, and I, we think about you. We dream of beautiful modern spaces for you. You are the reason we are motivated to do our work each and every day. So thank you for joining us for today's celebration, because this is an incredible, incredible achievement for the local community. And I can't wait to come back to actually welcome the first resident. And Jamie, you said in 2028, so I really like the sound of that schedule. I also wanted to acknowledge, of course, Mr. Schlegel. Mr. Schlegel is a visionary, and he is the reason why we all are here today. He was the one who envisioned better care, and he was way ahead of his time many, many years ago when he built the very first Schlegel Village. And today, Schlegel Village is a beautiful, beautiful brand. When people ask me, you know, what do you think? Where should I put my mom? Of course, as Minister of Long-Term Care, I don't have favorites. But you know what? Schlegel, if I did have favorites, Schlegel would be probably on top of that list. So Mr. Schlegel, your legacy is coming to life today. Thank you for your leadership. And to our incredible team, and we don't say this often enough, thank you so much. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for the shifts that you work, 12-hour shifts. You work days, you work nights, you work weekends, you work through all the holidays. When we're celebrating with our families, you're there for our residents. And I see you, I hear you, I appreciate you, and I will work day in and day out to ensure that the environment in which you work is also modern, state-of-the-art, beautiful environment. So thank you for everything you do on behalf of the Premier and myself, to our incredible long-term care staff. And of course, today we came out in full force. So I'm here with my partner in crime, Minister Kinga Surma, Minister of Infrastructure. We work very well together, and today is a huge achievement and a huge celebration of that work. We're also here today with Lauren Coe, who is the Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Colleges and Universities. Thank you for joining us. And my second partner in crime, of course, the one and only Laura Smith. She is the Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Housing, but together we've also worked on our dementia bill, Improving Dementia Care in Ontario Act. So she's worked really, really hard to ensure that those living with dementia have better care, both for them and their caregivers. So I'm so excited to be here with my colleagues today. And last but not least, of course, Mayor Horvath, it's always great to have great municipal partners so that we can work hand in hand on important projects for both of our residents. And of course, Indwell as well as Mohawk. This is an incredible partnership for the future. And because it's such a large site, 28 acres, it's absolutely incredible to have you partner up with us. So our government has a plan to protect our province and improve long-term care for Ontarians. And during this time of global uncertainty, it is crucial that our government takes action to protect our province and the long-term care system Ontario families depend on. Our plan to protect Ontario's economy is also one that protects our long-term care sector and its residents by creating good jobs, building for the future, and ensuring that Ontarians get the quality of care and quality of life they need and, more importantly, deserve. And to help with this, our government is working with our long-term care partners like Schlegel and investing $6.4 billion to build 58,000 new and upgraded beds across the province. And folks, this is the largest building program of its kind in Canadian history and one that we are very proud of. And we know just how important it is that people have access to the care they need in the communities that they have helped build, which is why we are here today. I'm so pleased to announce the sale of this government surplus property that will be turned into 2 brand new modern long-term care homes along with affordable housing. The former Hamilton Psychiatric Hospital site will be transformed into a new planned community anchored by 2 long-term care homes that will feature 512 long-term care beds for the community. And once fully developed, this new community will contain 2 long-term care homes, 832 market housing units, 270 senior housing units, 41 affordable housing units, 7.3 acres of land dedicated to Mohawk College, and I know that there's a living classroom that's being planned as well, which is very important, 7.3 acres of land for municipal conservation use, and the preservation and conversion of the Century Manor into housing. So folks, a lot of activity will be happening on the site, and we can't wait to get started. By having the province declare this land surplus and making it available to use for long-term care, housing, and education, our government is not only protecting Ontarians, but eliminating one of the most difficult barriers to long-term care construction in Ontario, which is, of course, finding land where it's needed most in urban centers like Hamilton. And as I said earlier, our government has a plan to protect Ontarians and improve long-term care in our great province. Folks, we're building these 58,000 new and redeveloped beds. And in order to have these beds, of course, staffed, we are hiring tens of thousands new nurses, PSWs, and other support personnel for the long-term care sector. And stay tuned for August 6th because there's more exciting announcement coming in terms of nursing education in Ontario. We're bringing services closer to those who need them. And we're ensuring every person who needs long-term care has a space in a safe, modern home near the community they have helped to build. Together, we are ensuring the Ontarians who built our province can receive the care they need and deserve near the communities they love. And now I am so honored to turn it over to Minister Kinga Surma to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's so wonderful to be here, Madam Mayor, colleagues, the Minister of Long-Term Care, and of course our partners. Now, they have a speech in front of me, but I will be very brief because I have a feeling that the rain is going to come down on us, and I don't want it to rain on you, Madam Mayor.
Well, thank you.
Look, I think most people were wondering what does... As I say that, the winds just increase. I think most people were wondering, what is the Minister of Infrastructure doing here? But it is the Ministry of Infrastructure and the good, hardworking people at Infrastructure Ontario that actually manage our surplus property portfolio. And this is just a perfect example of what our government is doing to make sure that properties that perhaps were not utilized in the past very well to be utilized once more, to have long-term care homes, to have housing and economic development opportunities for the community. So, Madam Mayor, as you can see, we're working very hard for the people of Hamilton. Not only are you getting 2 long-term care homes, over 1,000 housing units, affordable housing units on the site, You're also getting the Hamilton LRT and funding for water infrastructure to build more homes in Hamilton so that everyone can have a wonderful place to live. So it's really, really nice to be here with all of you. It's such a pleasure to celebrate today. I can't wait to return in 2028 to see the final, the construction, and then of course the final product in 2033. But just an exciting day for the people of Hamilton, and very happy to be a part of it. Thank you so much. I'll pass it over to you.
Well, thank you so much, Minister. And when the sign fell, I thought it was thunder. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and say good afternoon to everyone. First and foremost, I want to begin by thanking Jamie Schlegel and the entire team at Schlegel Villages for your unwavering commitment to improving the quality of care and quality of life for Ontario seniors. Of course, much gratitude to Minister Natalia Kusendova-Bashta, Minister Kinga Surma, Parliamentary Assistant Lauren Coe, Parliamentary Assistant Laura Smith. We wouldn't be here without the commitment of the government. And as Mayor of Hamilton, it's really important for me to acknowledge all of you and to say, I hope you show up before 2028 for other announcements. Just saying, but it was important for Minister Surma to I think outline some of the investments that are happening here in our city, and to say publicly that I'm very grateful as the mayor that this government has been a partner in helping to build our city and helping us to reach our potential as a fantastic city. We have with us former councillor, speaking of the city, who is now the Member of Parliament for this area, JP Danko. So glad to see you here, JP. We have as well the MPP for this area, I think, Sandy Shaw. I thought I saw her here a moment ago. Hamilton West End, Councillor Dundas, both of the representatives. And of course, our homegrown champions who have already been mentioned, Jeff Nevin and the team at Indwell, President Paul Armstrong of Mohawk College, Mike Heenan. It's funny, eh? That goes Mike Keenan as almost one word. Mike Heenan, the CEO of our wonderful St. Joseph's Hospital Healthcare Network, and also Esther Pauls, City Councillor, is joining us today as well. Today's announcement really does identify a transformation of an important part of our city. It's a model for what's possible when healthcare, housing, and education come together with purpose and with infrastructure. The village of Fennel Ridge will include, all of this has already been said, so I don't think I need to re-say it. I think I'm going to take the advice of Minister Surma and really shorten my remarks. One thing I think is important, though, is to identify that Century Manor has been a treasured site for a very long time, and there just has not been a solution that was able to be implemented. But there are so many people who are, I'm sure, thrilled to hear that that Indwell will be doing the work they're going to be doing at Century Manor and bringing that wonderful historic site back to some glory. So, as has been said, this site is going to hold so many important pieces of a complete community, right? And so it's going to have the long-term care, it's going to have the supportive housing, it's going to have the affordable housing, it's going to have the market housing, it's going to have the connection with healthcare and with education. When I first learned of this vision, I could tell you it blew me out of the water. It really, really did. And so that was one of the first big projects that when I became mayor, I sat down and learned about and was, as Jamie has mentioned, was able to get a sense of what the vision was. And to be here right now and be with all of you as partners in this amazing future for this site, it really does humble me as the mayor. Because the city is part of this, yes. But the surplus property, the surplusing of the property, the partnerships that came together to put this vision in place is amazing. And we will have a complete community here that meets so many different needs. And I can say that without the collaborative work, without the bold community-centered vision, we wouldn't be at this important announcement today. Real, lasting benefits for the city of Hamilton and significant partnerships that the government of Ontario supported, that the city supported, that the private sector is involved with, that the public sector is involved with. Really, what else can you say? Together we're building a more inclusive, healthier Hamilton, and I want to just congratulate everyone involved and say I'm honored to be a part of it. This is an incredible project, and it shows that partnerships really can be innovative and collaborative and bring the solutions that are necessary for the future of a city like Hamilton. So thank you all very much. I'm getting somebody pointing. Oh, sorry. I thought I did say Parliamentary Assistant Co. Oh, I'm flipping to Co.
Okay.
Sorry, Lauren. And now I'll introduce my friend Lauren Co, who I've known for many, many, many years. So we know it's not personal.
We are. Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here in Hamilton alongside Minister Kusendova-Bashta, Minister Surma, Parliamentary Assistant Smith, and of course, Mayor Horvath. It's also wonderful to see President Armstrong, President Schlegel, CEO Nevin, along with the teams at Schlegel Villages, Mohawk College, and Indwell. Today's announcement is great news for families and residents in Hamilton, and great news for students at Mohawk College. Not only will Mohawk be able to expand when the time comes, but these two long-term care homes located right across the street from Mohawk College will offer ample training opportunities for students in the long-term care field. I know that Mohawk and Schlegel are already working together to ensure nursing and personal support worker students get the hands-on training they need to succeed in their healthcare careers upon graduation, which is exactly the type of post-secondary programs that our government continues to invest in across our colleges and universities. Whether it's STEM, healthcare, teaching, or skilled trades, our government has invested nearly $1 billion in the last 4 months to expand seats in critical economy-driving sectors that protect Ontario. And in each of these programs, we're ensuring that students get the hands-on skills they need to succeed in their careers. I can't wait to see the incredible skills Mohawk students will learn at these long-term care homes when they open. Together, we're building a long-term care workforce to provide exceptional care in Hamilton and across Ontario for years to come. Thank you very much, and it's my pleasure to introduce Parliamentary Assistant Laura Smith.
Well, good afternoon, and what a good afternoon it is. It's a pleasure to be here in Hamilton today. I want to begin by thanking my colleague, Minister Natalia Kusendova-Bashta, for inviting me here to join her along with my caucus colleagues, Minister Kinga Surma and MPP Lauren Co, as well as James Schlegel, and the team from Schlegel Villages, and Paul Armstrong, and the team from Mohawk College. This is a pure team effort, and I'm proud and honored to be here. And of course, Mayor Andrea Horvath, who's helped us foster a strong partnership between our government and the City of Hamilton. So this project is part of our government's initiative to leverage surplus lands for long-term care development. And our government understands that seniors deserve nothing less than to age in dignity and to receive the quality of care they need and deserve. This is also a very special moment to share with my friend and colleague, Minister Kusendova-Bashta, of whom I've had the pleasure of working with extensively. And recently we passed a private member's bill, the Improving Dementia Care in Ontario Act, and this is the first dementia-related bill to be introduced in the legislature in over a decade. I understand how dedicated Natalia is in this role within long-term care, and I'm so pleased that so much of our work and research will continue on with her ministry, including improving the quality of care for our most vulnerable citizens. So kudos to you, Natalia. And this is what makes this project so important, what it delivers. With 512 new long-term care beds and 270 seniors housing units, it will bring much-needed support for Hamilton seniors within their communities. As you know, planning a project like this can take years, and our government continues to work tirelessly to shorten timelines. For example, we helped expedite this provincial priority project to cut red tape and get shovels in the ground faster. By using planned tools responsibly, we can meet the growing needs of our communities and eliminate significant and costly delays. To protect our communities and increase our housing supply, we are fast-tracking affordable housing, healthcare facilities, and schools, moving them forward at the pace the people of Ontario deserve. And our progress is only possible because of our strong partnership with municipalities like Hamilton. Together, we'll continue to ensure that critical projects like long-term care homes can move forward without unnecessary red tape stalling timelines. Together, we will continue to deliver much-needed housing for the people of Ontario. I want to thank you so much for all of the time and all of the incredible people that have shown up today. And I would now like to ask Jeff Nevin, the CEO of Indwell, to say a few words.
It's so great to be here, ministers, parliamentary assistants, your worship. Thank you for this opportunity, and to our partners at Schlegel Village and Mohawk. Today is an exciting day. We are celebrating the beginning of a new partnership that will bring new life to these grounds and the historic Century Manor. Indwell has taken on the opportunity to retrofit Century Manor, turning it into 41 apartments. This is a historic building. We know that long before these buildings, this was the land of the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe and the Neutrals, but over the last 150 years or so, these have hosted buildings. And some of them much larger than Century Manor, like the Barton building that's now gone, or the Orchard House. And Century Manor used to be called the East Building. The Barton building opened its doors in 1856, and Century Manor was built 8 years later in 1884. This building has been home to many different uses, including a treatment program for alcoholics, forensic psychiatry, adolescent school and treatment program, offices, and even a museum, but it has sat vacant for the last 30 years. Too many of our city's historic buildings, after decades of unuse, fall into disrepair, are subjected to vandalism, and eventually are destroyed. We know that historic buildings need to have a new purpose, to breathe new life into them, to ensure that they are preserved into the future. While under the care of the province, the exterior of the building has been well maintained and preserved. We will preserve this historic exterior, but indoors will undergo a full transformation. It will take us a bit of time yet to get through the pre-development work, but we've started that work with getting up the fencing that you can see through the trees there to help protect the building. In a few years, the former Century Manor will be home to about 40 people, all living in their own studio apartment, including their own bathroom and kitchen. Over 50 years ago, Indwell began in Hamilton, helping people transition from where? Psychiatric hospital, right on these grounds, into the community. It is fitting that here we are today, now helping the actual psychiatric hospital building to transform into the community. This building will provide home, and for many, a new start for up to 41 people. It will also include support staff on site to ensure that people have the supports that they need to reach their goals and full potential. Staff will help ensure residents have access to the basics like healthcare, food, friendship, belonging, and the opportunity to positively contribute to their community. Wrapping supports around each individual has demonstrated that it leads to thriving and flourishing people and their communities. 41 people will have a permanent home, a safe home that they can be proud of, a home with a door that once entered removes the label of homelessness and so many other labels that are carried. A door that can be locked, providing safety in a way that is never possible in a tent. And when a resident chooses to open that door, they'll have neighbors who they've come to know during events like tea time, games nights, creative groups, and everyone's favorite karaoke. that they've chosen to participate in. So we look forward to opening doors here. This is the kind of support that Indwell offers currently to over 1,300 people across southwestern and southern Ontario. But we aren't finished. By the time this building opens, I anticipate that the number will have climbed, that Indwell will be providing permanent supportive housing to over 1,800 people in southern and southwestern Ontario, with at least 100 more homes coming on stream right here in Hamilton. That's homes for people who are, or have been, or are at the risk of being unhoused. 51 years ago, a man named Dr. Job Raukema put his name down on the papers to incorporate Indwell, starting a vision, starting a movement. While Job is no longer with us, today his wife Didi Raukema is. Didi is part of a long-standing community of supporters who have contributed in so many ways to ensure that everyone has a home. Didi lives at one of the beautiful Schlegel properties here in Hamilton, the village of Wentworth Heights, and is an active member of the current affairs group there. In fact, she and her good friend Kathy, also here today, have become quite the advocates for Indwell in the community at the village. They've invited Indwell to come as speakers. They've hosted a screening of a documentary featuring Indwell. They've brought together a dozen fellow caring residents for a tour of Indwell's buildings. And they've been key in raising tens of thousands of dollars for not only Indwell, but other organizations like Mission Services right here in Hamilton. And I understand there's another, yes, that's worth a clap. And I understand there's another fundraiser on its way this fall. At the heart of all we do is relationships and community. We know that loneliness is sometimes called an epidemic. The antidote is that of community, belonging. That is a crucial part of what Indwell tries to do. It's also at the heart of how Schlegel designs their buildings and programs. And I believe the same with Mohawk. That is at the heart of this partnership, and much more than saving and transforming a beautiful historic building, which I love that we get to do. These communities, while separate, will also be connected. Can you imagine the energy, care, and involvement seniors like Didi and Kathy will bring to this location? A community of seniors giving back. A community of Mohawk students leaning in, learning, and contributing. Ongoing partnerships with our friends at St. Joseph's Hospital behind us, and Indwell tenants giving back to their community. I can't wait to see this community animated with people and energy and life. Minister, our thanks to you and your colleagues for making this happen. We look forward to groundbreaking soon, and we welcome you and bring the whole cabinet, won't you, back to welcome you to the grand opening for years to come. Thanks. And I will pass on and welcome our partner, Paul Armstrong.
Well, thank you very much, Jeff, and it is an absolute honor and privilege to be able to be here today with this group and just to say a few words. And I obviously am excited about the opportunity that this project is going to give Mohawk College to think about how we, with the current leadership team, can position the college to be ready for the future and the expansion and the work we need to do over the long term. But I have to be honest, what excites me the most, and actually probably what I'm most proud of, is not only does Mohawk College get an opportunity to be part of what happens from this point forward, but we actually had a very influential part in actually getting us to today. And frankly, that's not a role that a college often plays. And so to Jamie and to Jeff and our partners, thank you for giving us that opportunity. You know, I've thought many times over the past couple of years that if I could think of how I would write a story, not just as a president of Mohawk College, but as a resident of Hamilton, I can't actually think of a better story than what's happening here. And you've heard all of the chapters in that story. We're making an impact here focused on education, long-term care, which the impact Schlegel Village is going to make on its own is meaningful and impactful. But when you think about the reach that we're going to have beyond just this property throughout the city, it's a story that's something I'm very, very proud of being able to play a role in. And I would say that this, from my perspective and in my opinion, is one of the biggest community building stories that I've seen and have been involved with in my history, and something that I will reflect on for many, many years to come. Mohawk College is a leader, and we've made a commitment that we are going to focus and refocus everything we do in ensuring we're developing the workforce for the industries and the sectors and the employers that need it. And there is no industry and no sector in greater need of our support and our help from an education perspective than health and long-term care. And we are doubling down on our efforts to grow enrollments, to build capacity, but we cannot do it on our own. We cannot do it without partners like Schlegel Villages and Indwell, our government partners, and the communities we work with. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for being here. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of this amazing opportunity. When I drive by here 10, 20, or 30 years from now, it'll be a point of pride to think that Mohawk College had an impact and had a role in making what happens on this site and in this community happen. Thank you, and back to you, James.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Everything that needed to be said has been said, and said so well. I've heard about community, I've heard about support, I've heard about intergenerational connection, I've heard about inclusiveness, all these things that I think will make this project very magical. So thank you for coming. Thank you for being part of the celebration. Thank you for, in your own way, supporting this endeavor. And the minister has mentioned 2028 several times, so I think she's going to hold me to that date. And that's good. That's what you're supposed to do. So we look forward to inviting all of you back in 2028 for the ribbon cutting of the new LTC home. Thanks so much for coming, everyone. God bless.